Hey everybody, it's Aaron here once again. Long time no see, it's been a while since we had our last video. But we're back here with one which is just in time for the Regional League here in Malaysia, which is the first big event for the new 2023-2024 season. If you're watching this on the day of release, it is the final day for those who are elected to participate in the Regional League this coming Saturday for you to submit your deck list. So if you're watching this, you literally have less than maybe 6 hours, probably when this video goes up, for you to submit your list for the event. Now, if you're like me and you have no idea what to play, this video is for you, right? So I just came up with this very quickly based on some of the results of the online events, that we've had. And I also included a very special deck list right at the end of the video, which is probably my first pick going into this Regional League weekend. And let's get into it, right? So the Malaysia Regional League, as you can see here on your screen, is, well, the first big event of the new season. Entry is free, so if you're not known yet, most of these big events are actually completely free for you to enter. So if you're in Southeast Asia, these events are a must go, and we are going to talk about the decks that you should be using or you could be deciding to use, if you're planning to enter the tournament. And we start off, by going into some of the online events that we have seen, and here we have, I think, one of my dark horse picks. This is Chen Pao Excalibur, and this list here piloted by Bibi Blinger at the Deck Out Mondays. And this list over here in particular is something that I enjoy because it looks very straightforward, right? It runs Chen Pao, it runs the 2-1 Frigiback split, so you have three of them. Excalibur, obviously, 2-2 Bibarel. No Palkia, which some folks have chosen to run. So this particular list is the cross switcher cancelling Cologne Pokestop variant, which I personally like. I think this particular one has a very good time against decks that rely on mana fee. So you just say cross switcher for the mana fee, and then I get multiple prizes with Moonlight Shuriken. So I'm a vanilla person when it comes to Champa Excalibur. I like this sort of view of list. Irida is still a very powerful card. Obviously, it gets you to search out that Bell VIP past turn 1. Pokestop 4 Pokestops here really burns through your deck very quickly. So this is my preference. It's a bit high roll, go big or go home, because you might just wave on Pokestops. But it's the way I like to play Champa Excalibur, which is coming at my number 5 pick for this weekend. Moving on to the next list, or the next deck, here we have a Gardevoir list piloted by Arne van Brekel. Sorry if I mispronounce it. I thought this was a very interesting deck list in a sense, because it actually runs the new Mew EX from 151. And this particular weekend's event, I probably forgot to mention, has 151 legal. So folks around the world, if you're not in the Southeast Asia region, that's completely fine. But we are essentially playing the format of the next big events coming up, and Mew EX being the main addition to this list, which I don't think anything much else changes. I do see the Champions Festival here in the bottom left corner, allowing you to heal some of the damage off after you have used Psychic Embrace. We do see the 3-1 Fralt split as well as the 3-1 Curlier split. So I'm not a very big Gardevoir player, but I 100% admit is one of the better decks in the format. But it's a very technical deck, right? Here in Malaysia, we do have a few players who are really good at Gardevoir, and they've been running it at the recent town leagues. They've been running at the weekly events here in our local game stores. Not a deck to sleep on. This is the reversal energy build, obviously, so it gets to a very high damage ceiling, for either Brainwave, right, for Gardevoir. I don't think there's anything special per se about this list looking at it, other than running Champions Festival and the Mew EX. Mew EX gives you some very nice plays. If you're able to bring up an opposing Greninja and the opponent doesn't play mana fee, then you're getting 2 prizes just like that. With genome hacking. So interesting choice, and it worked very well for Arne, who took this all the way to the top in that event. So that's my number 4 option in my top 5. Now moving on to the next one, surprise surprise, is a Lost Zone deck, but I'm not advocating for a Lost Zone box. I'm advocating for Giratina Lost Zone, and this was played by James Sims at the Full Heal Obsidian, getting at first place. It's a deck which my brother personally loves to play, right? He loves to play Giratina Lost Zone. And here, I don't think there's anything special about this deck other than the fact that we know it's powerful. It's dropping off a little bit, but I've seen it in action at our local game stores. I've seen it in action while playtesting. It's still a deck to be reckoned with. One thing I do notice is a double Roxanne. I don't recall when this has been standard, or even if it is standard. I know one has always been there. The deck list does not run a single Iono, but double Roxanne leads me to incline it could be a preference play, or even could be something that this particular player loves to force, right? Making our opponent take maybe two single prizes and maybe a Pokemon V, which is a Giratina V, and then bring them down to a low hand size, sticking a path, and then sweeping from there. So as much as Lost Zone box is going to continue to be popular, I think the meta might shift away from that, and I think Giratina V is the card that you want to have in a Lost Zone deck. You still run Sableye, you still run Cramorant, you still run Greninja, so you still keep all the best pieces of Lost Zone in your deck, right? That's my number 3 pick. Now, going to my number 2 pick, and this is a shout out to Young Kai Jen. Young Kai Jen, the Asia Open winner, which unfortunately we didn't get a chance to speak to after the Asia Open because I fell ill. After that, it was Worlds already. It just didn't happen, unfortunately. But shout out to him for taking Mew EX, the Meloetta Mew, Fusion Mew, all the way to the top at the Pokemon Battle Park recently. And I think as a whole, Kaijen is one of the best players in Malaysia for Mew, right? And it goes without saying he won the Asia Open, right? And I truly stick by his recommendations for the deck. And if you notice right away, the main addition that the deck has taken in right now is not Ice Cube. No, it's not, it's not Lost City. It's actually Grabber, which is right in the middle here. A card that came from 151, and it aims to disrupt your opponent's hand by putting a Pokemon from there in underneath your deck. Now, some decks have been running 1. Kaijen has taken 3 into this particular list. And this list is available online, right? So you're looking for Mew EX, you go on Limitless, and this is right there. This is the list that I think you should definitely be playing, right? So, Yung Kaijen, congratulations on your online event win. You're now at for me, as much as I am not a Mew player, I fear Mew because of what Melodious Echo could do to my Arceus. This is my second pick because after all, if you look at the results in Southeast Asia, Mew has been dominant in Southeast Asia. I believe I think it's four major events or 5 major events, and Mew has won like 4 of them, right? So don't sleep on Mew, and I think that's a key thing for a lot of players in Southeast Asia and in Malaysia specifically. If you sleep on Mew, Mew will come back and haunt us, right? Now moving on to the final deck choice, and I think it goes without saying it's probably going to be a deck which everyone is talking about, right? And it goes without saying that it's actually Charizard, but the virtual Charizard that I'm talking about is actually from my good friend Joshua Doctolero from the Philippines, a Philippine national champion who played this exact list to a first place finish at the Philippine Town League this past weekend. And it's a brilliant list. I think I couldn't change anything about it, right? I played this list myself. I think it's streamlined enough that if you're looking to play something, you have no idea what it is, pick up this list, right? It runs Charizard EX with PIdgeot, has the Entei V and Forest Seal Stone package with 4 Arven, so super consistent build as it is. Radiant Charizard couples it in as a single price stacker, pretty efficient. You still run the fish, you still run Manaphy because you have to, otherwise you literally lose to a Greninja. You run Celebrations Mew, a great opener, and you also run Mew EX. So overall, this list, from what I remember, Josh told me it took a lot of inspiration from some of the lists that did really well at the Brazil special event from a couple of weeks ago. And he made a few changes, right? I believe he mentioned changing the Charmander to the 151 Charmander, and the Pidgey to the 151 Pidgey, and including Mew EX, right? I played this list. This is powerful. it can go from having just 3 basic Pokemon, at the start of your turn 1 to having multiple stage shoes out on turn 2. And even, closing the game by turns 3 and 4, right? That's how powerful this deck is. You have a very strong opening. All you gotta do is make sure that you set up and you should have a good game, right? Now, it does have a glaring weakness to Path of the Peak with lots of abilities in this list. And I think that's the reason why, there's 2 Lost Vacuums here, 2 Lost City. I know some folks have, at least from what I recall, some folks have opted for the Arceus build. As much as I love Arceus, I think this list is much better. I just cannot recommend Arceus because I played both versions. The Arceus build, while great and all, just doesn't feel that good compared to what I see here, because you're essentially taking up a bench spot. You can use the Arceus to attack, but it's not a Zard, it's not a Charizard, So if I can just gust around that Arceus, I have a liability on the bench after that, right? So I personally endorse this build. I've played it. It's great. It might be my pick to play this weekend if I'm playing. I am elected to play, but I just haven't decided on the list. And it's only going to be a few hours left until I have to decide, okay, I'll play the deck. But yeah, so this comes to the end of the video. I know it's a very short one. If you're looking for a long, intensive analysis, unfortunately, I don't have that. I just went ahead and picked 5 decks which I thought were common enough that you'd see this weekend. Or if you're not sure what to play, pick any one of these 5. I think you'll be happy with the choice. Now, if you're playing this weekend and you see me, and do come say hi. I would love to say hi to you. But if you don't do too well this weekend while playing, don't worry about it. It's a long season. There's a lot of events to participate. Make sure you go down to a local game store to participate in. You'll find me at AMCC, which is AM Cards and Collectibles, here in Klang, Selangor. I'll be there every Friday as best I can, and even drop by on Sundays as well. So you'll see me there to play Pokemon TCG. And I hope you have, all the best of luck on Saturday if you're playing. If you're not, do tune into the coverage on my Facebook page. I will post results there as soon as I get them, right? This is Aaron from the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.